This is DETOUR, the best stories in Black travel.
This is Excursions with Gina Arias, Cuba edition, Part 4.
¡Libre! ¡Taxi! ¡Taxi! ¡Libre! ¡Ah! ¡Un, dos, tres, ah!
We had heard over and over again, you have to talk to Jimmy con clase. We were told that he's the only MC that is deep in the b-boy and graffiti scenes as well. As we had learned from our discussion with El Individuo, the elements of hip-hop are quite divided in Cuba. So this person we were told we must talk to was indeed a unique figure in the hip-hop community. Also a producer, activist, and DJ, Jimmy con clase had a whole lot to say about the Cuban hip-hop movement. Climbing up into his small loft room, every inch plastered with hip-hop memorabilia, Jimmy sat pensive and serious. It was as if we had come to visit the temple of a hip-hop wise man.
The hip-hop movement in Cuba has been through various periods of transition, beginning with the creation of the international hip-hop festivals that took place here in Cuba, in which we saw an influx of people from all parts of the world documenting our movement, which was something we didn't ourselves have the resources to do in Cuba. This allowed us to have a window to the world. Here in Cuba, because all of the problems everyone already knows about, from the economic embargo to the special period, there were crises that made it almost impossible to introduce or access technology in order to document and record the movement with a level of quality comparable to other Latin American countries. As we know, hip-hop emerged from the margins of the hood and eventually developed into its own infrastructure and reaches the mainstream and begins to highlight how the majority of us live.
Jimmy had a deep and intimate knowledge of Cuban hip-hop history, but what struck me the most was his vision for the future and how the youth might just be able to be saved through hip-hop culture.
It seems to me that hip-hop now has the possibility to enter into the education system where to conduct classes and workshops without any problem at all. And it seems to me the most necessary thing at this point, even more so than having 10 rappers on stage performing or 20 people recording in a studio, to bring to the children a concept of the vanguard of hip-hop so that they can do graffiti with graffiti artists, or bringing them to a hip-hop show that they can really relate to. I feel this generation can be saved. These children who are 5 and 6 years old that are now starting to raise their antennas can be saved, and then in turn can save others. But it seems to me that we have to cut down to the root, like the Cuban literacy campaign in 1961, after the revolution, when literacy brigades were sent out to the countryside to teach people to read and write. Now we have to teach how to listen.
Stay tuned for Part 5.